Friday night, yay! And it's only 3 days to Christmas. Not that I'm counting, not that I'm counting. So tonight, guys, you can see we are joined by the one and only Brian Baker. Welcome back, Brian. I'm glad that I've not emotionally scarred you that much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I see we've got one in the chat, so if you can let us know if you could hear us, that would be brilliant. Put a wee hi in the chat. So while I'm sharing out, you can talk among yourselves.
Good evening. Merry Crimbo. What you been up to, Ian, this week? I've been working.
Well, I finished work on Wednesday, so did a bit of shopping. But repaired my mum's bathroom, which was a major job, but there you go. So what I thought was a 5-minute job took me all day, but that's what happens.
It is. And what about you, Bri?
Yeah, just working really. Just glad it's weekend, bro.
I've been watching your investigations. Have we? What sort of progress have we made?
We're not doing too bad. I found a few more places to go. I'm still going back to Tomedin, even though I said I wouldn't. So I'm trying to get some leeway with him and actually find out who's the dominant there. Trying to get him to come forward more and talk a bit. So I'm still doing that at the minute, bro.
Yeah, well, whenever you decide you want to do a collaboration, I'm available.
Yeah, we have mentioned this before, haven't we? It does sound good.
Yeah, my car's working.
Yeah.
And I've got to make a journey down south to see Ian and a possible journey up north to see Lou.
Oh, if you come down here, Bri, you'll have some churches to look at, that's for sure.
Oh, exactly. I've been looking. Don't you worry, I've been looking. I'm also looking to see if there's possibilities down your end. Apparently, that they do stay open 24/7. So if I fetch me blow up bed, I might be able to snickle corner somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of them rather you than me, but there you go.
Ooh, I don't mind. I like my churches.
Well, yeah.
Have you got any investigations planned then?
I've not. This is my quiet spell, but luckily we got confirmation that our last case went very well and they've had no more activity. So
that's brilliant. I've got no private ones, Brian, but I am going on Boxing Day to St. Botolph's again, taking my team there. So we shall see what happens.
Are you going? What time are you going? Are you going late on?
No, I usually set off. I do it. I have a day at it, so I'll be more than likely. I'm hoping to drop in at Rudston to have another look at Rudston Monolith, and probably find some more might do RF base out there, and then end up at St. Botolph's because it's near Mablethorpe, so it's a fair journey.
Yeah.
So for me, it'll just be I've said to the guys, obviously, give them time off for when it comes to obviously like Christmas and New Year. But I'll be throwing a couple of extra specials in the middle. So that'll be my sort of thing. Investigations-wise, plan-wise for next year, I'm still on the shelf for that one.
Cheers, guys.
I might even go out next year, but I'm trying to stay away from going to abandoned places because see when it's cold and it hits my body, it doesn't do me any justice because I end up just so sore the next day. Hi, Sarah Louise. How you doing? Hey, Rita. Hey, Eric. So, but I'll see what the plans is. I kind of sway in and out with the paranormal. I kind of go to it and then I'll pull back for a while. But when you're doing podcasting quite a lot, can what I mean?
Yeah.
And get your onesie on and get your sent out. Don't be a wimp.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm wearing my big long jumper.
Yeah. But you live in
But-
Scotland, girl. It's going to be cold, no matter what time of the year you go out.
Listen, Scotland's got 4 seasons in one day. Come
Yeah,
on.
We get that down here, but not so much snow.
Yeah. Right. For me, next year, I have decided I am going to do a full cryptid job. I've been examining.
Oh.
I've been examining certain areas, and we have got some hot spots at the moment. We have got a place in Staffordshire, which I'm surprised you haven't heard about, Brian, because it's your neck is as ish. It's between us, actually, isn't it? It's between me and you, that Staffordshire.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours from me.
Yeah, it's about the same for me, really. So we might be able to meet up there sometime. But the biggest hotspots are on the East Coast, and I have mentioned them in previous shows, but they weren't picked up on. But obviously, somebody has picked up on them because they're investigating as we speak. And it's been going on since 2017. There's a team and some well-known people that's been on TVs.
Ooh.
In Bempton and Brid and that area. Now that's surprising, isn't it? Certain areas like that, but apparently big cryptid areas. The other is ish cryptid, but we seem to have a crossover between cryptids and things that shouldn't be here but are, like big cats and certain canines. Apparently we've got wolves and big cats, anything from leopard to panther to, I've forgotten other two, called cougar and even lion, believe it or not. There's been a lion sighting. But they're all Devon and Cornwall and that area. Don't know why, but they are. So I'll be looking at things like that next year as well to mix it up for myself.
Interesting.
It's something different as well. It's certainly something different for exploring. Obviously, you're doing cryptids. Cryptids is becoming a big thing right now as well. It's on the rise. So I see. Eric, I've heard of a big rise. Funny enough, he's just said that the same as me.
A lot of the time, it's just Lois gone out for a walk.
Oh.
No, but the thing is that what they call him in America. Our version is the same creature, I believe, but we call them werewolves. But in America, they don't. There's the big canine, big dogman. Dogman, that's it. Dogman.
Yeah.
They call him Dogman, but we call him werewolf. And believe it or not, again, the biggest sightings is Staffordshire. There's been a lot of sightings since 2017. 80s, to be honest. But there's been a spike in 2017, so something's going off. And I'm determined to go and have a look. There's been a team in, I've forgotten the name on it. I actually wrote it down. Wait a minute, let's see if I can find it. Got that much ramble in my house. No, it's not on that one. I've got it. I think I've got it. Right. Walker Woods. Yeah, Cannock Chase, that's it. Cannock Chase, Walker Woods. In Staffordshire.
A lot goes on there, doesn't it?
Exactly. But I didn't think, to be honest, I've heard on it before, but I didn't think it was in Staffordshire. I thought it was down south. But it's not. Apparently it's in Staffordshire. So
Sarah Louise has put a link in. A big cat spotted in Wales.
Yep.
Eric
Yep.
said, but apparently there is supposed to be a difference between Dogman and Werewolf.
Yeah, well, it seems to be our equivalent. We have had sightings down south, Dartmoor again. It seems to be that some people call it that, but I think it's a knock-on. I don't think it's been called Dogman in this country up until recently, and they've made that link between this country and America, and they're starting to call it the same name. Previously, here it's always been classed as werewolf. So we
So
shall see.
what's your plans, Brian, for next year for your team for the haunted homes? What are we going to see from you next year?
Well, I'm going to go to a fair few different places, and I'm going to go and do a couple of paid locations, which is different for me. There's a couple I want to go to. So I'm going to do East Drive, but I'm going to do that as a solo.
Oh wow!
And there's a place in Wolverhampton that I'm going to go to as well. But that's too big to do on my own, so that'll probably be taking a team. But yeah, I mean, plenty of exploring, investigating as much as possible.
But you don't know East Drive before.
Different locations, but when you've got somewhere close that's so haunted, you sort of spend a lot of time there, and you know you're in for a good night when you go because you've been and they're used to you, and you're guaranteed you're going to have an active night. Yeah,
I mean, I've done East Drive. I know Ian's done it, a decent investigation. Have you done it before, Brian?
Yeah, I think this will be my fourth time.
Right.
The first one were the best.
Yeah.
I found it quiet on 2 occasions out of 3 East Drive.
Well, there you go. That proves the point, like me and Ian's mentioned before. It seems to be certain times of year.
Yeah.
And I've found by talking to everybody else, it seems to be the end of July, August when it's most active.
I know the roundabout in front of East Drive, that used to be the old gallows, didn't it, in the old town?
All right.
Well, yeah, it was edge at Abbey, weren't it? There were an Abbey there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, the Black Monk and the story behind it, and there's a well somewhere which they threw him down on that property. You know, there's quite a varied stories to that place, really.
Well, there is. It's only a stone's throw from Ponty Castle, if you look at it, as crow flies. And when you think about, like you said, back in the day, what were actually there, most of it were farmland. Right up round Bagger Lane, Bagger Wood, up across where train station is, and up at back at hospital, and then you've got your Abbey, which is a church inside a church now. And then on top of the hill, just above it, you've got Castle. So they're all within a stone's throw, basically, of 30 East.
I mean, when you look at any area, you should always look at what were on land before as well, shouldn't you? Just to give you a rough idea of how things have changed.
I look after. I always look after. I always go in blind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what were there, what is there, until I've done. Then once I've picked up and I've collected all data, then I can look it up and see if I'm right.
Yeah, that's how I like to do things as well. But, I think the thing with East Drive is you've got to go in like I did with no expectations.
Yeah,
they surprised me. So,
hey Holly.
Then I spent 3 days there and 2 nights. So it gives you a bit more scope, then, doesn't it? We were there 24/7. So.
What did you pick out up here? Were it active?
Yeah, I mean, we had, surprisingly, we didn't have any major stuff, but the stuff we did have was completely unexplainable. Like the keys rattling in the door and the door handle being rattled. We heard a girl's voice in the hallway. Funnily enough, we had 2 police officers stood in the kitchen at the time who just said they were skeptics, and then that happened. But
Yeah, they're known to turn up quite regularly. Police, they always send rookies. If you've noticed, hey, get yourself alive. It's a bit of a joke with him, but yeah, I found that most activity were in core place, and I got a portal outside at fire, so that always put some equipment aside at fire. And
I
see
wish
what
I'd known that before I stayed there, because I slept on the sofa right next to the fireplace.
Exactly. And you had activity outside on you, like you said.
Yeah.
Rita says, funny with you. Don't you encourage that, Ian? Don't ever encourage that, Ian. I've always called it werewolf. I think it's the same thing, or maybe a hybrid version.
Just Lois.
I'm going to slap the shit out of you, boy. But no, definitely. I mean, are you looking forward to doing it yourself, Brian? Actually getting into 30 East Drive, just yourself, nobody else?
I am, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put motion camera sensors upstairs and work downstairs, and then vice versa, swap the cameras around and work upstairs, and see what I pick up. If I can cover the entire house, hopefully the box will pick up some nice information about who's there and how many's there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, some of the responses I've seen you get on that box is just really, really good.
Yeah, well, I told you last week I got told off for not using it correctly, so
Did you fix that?
Yes, I sat there and fiddled with it for a few hours, and feel a lot happier now when I go out next. He won't be telling me off for misusing his dog.
You're right. I've had police show up at an investigation.
That was to arrest you, though, wasn't it?
It was really for stalking Ian, but I don't call it stalking. I call it observation.
But it's not
coming from the least observant person on the show tonight.
Oh, hey William, how you doing, love? No, we were on an investigation, and I was out with someone, and we were going to meet this other team. And when we got there, we seen the police car, and I went, money on it, that's for them. And it was, because somebody had phoned up. It was quite funny, the call. Somebody called up and said that a bunch of people rocked out a car and were heading up towards this place with torches. Then they sounded distressed on the phone, the police said, which was quite funny. So they obviously had to come and check, but at first they thought we were taking the pee when we were saying we're investigators. But you investigate the paranormal? And they just kind of looked at each other and was like, and then no, seriously, what are you doing? And we're like, investigating. We're investigating. And I showed the proof. Yeah. And the policeman standing there, looking at us, like the K2 meter, going, what do you do with this? I says, well, if you come along, we'll show you. But it was because obviously people had made that phone call of, there's people there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can beat Paranormal Truth, who did a pre-investigation, just a bit of a recce, and on an old asylum, and the police helicopter come out.
Oh.
They were stood, and they could see it coming over the top of them. Oh my God. And they had to leg it as soon as it was out of view.
I've been caught a few times, to be honest. Two that stand out is one at Spofford. Have you done that one, Brian? That's a good one. You'd enjoy that one.
Where's that?
Spofford. It's Spofford Castle, but in its appearance, with what's left of it, it looks more like an abbey now. No. But it always was a fortified manor house. It was never a true castle. But it's a corker. The other one were in a farmhouse at Nottingley, near Pontefract. Oh, it was just a random, to be honest. I was driving, I passed this empty building, so I turned around and went back, like you do, and I had a look, and I thought, this is totally derelict. So pulls up, goes in, and next thing I know, luckily we were out, because there were 2 or 3 cars following us. Luckily we were outside. We'd already been right building, and we were outside and just going up past this old barn towards Boundary Wall. And all we heard was, freeze on the ground. Next thing I know, there's a laser pointing at one of mate's areas.
Oh,
There's a dog snarling at another mate's nads, and I'm just like this, pausing. Stood one arm up, one arm across wall, and my leg up in air. He says, stop being a prat and sit down.
oh.
We sat down, and it turned out there were about 3 vans, 2 dog vans, and half a dozen police cars. And this neighbourhood watch nosy geezer had rang police saying that we were robbing place, and we weren't, obviously. But we had the old scenario. When you mentioned that you're a paranormal group, they seem to calm down, but you get a good cop, bad cop scenario. So one of them's been a nasty, you know what I mean, SOB, and the other one's asking you questions. Oh, did you get out? Blah, 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 being right friendly. So they're doing a dual approach to see what they can get. But it's quite obvious, really. We're a paranormal group. It's the only sort of groups that you get, or you tend to get, where you've got everybody from all walks of life. You've got young'uns.
Yeah.
You've got my age group, which is decrepit. and then in between. So it's like, how can you make that up? You know what I mean? It's obvious you're not thieving, because you've got a full spectrum of people. So they seem to calm down straight away. But the amount of people that turned up to that one, that were unreal, that. We did have an helicopter as well, obviously. When there are armed police, you've got armed police, for God's sake. So obviously, we're all in a bloody empty building, empty farmhouse, and they turn up with lasers and guns and what? Jesus.
Yeah, someone told them you had donuts. That's what it was.
Well,
that's what that.
Yeah, that's what happened at Spofford. We're doing a circle, so you can imagine there's a circle and about 8 on us, and the way that the place is situated, you've got to come down steps if you're coming from to like Village Green, and this policewoman jumps. She practically cleared all steps into the bottom, saying, "What's going off?" Well, my mate called her whatever. I said, "Oh, yeah." And she says, "Stay where you are, nobody move. What's going on?" I've got my e-cig in my gob because I'm holding hands either side, so because we're doing a circle. She said, "We've had reports that you're doing drugs." So I text my e-cig out my mouth. I said, "Do you want a drag?" She says, "What's that?" I says, "It's an e-cig." "Oh, that's not drugs then, is it?" I said, "Well, strictly speaking, yeah, I suppose, but, you know, you're welcome to take it if you want it." And again, she was brilliant. Once she realised we were a paranormal group, stood there doing a circle, for God's sake, she was fine. And yet again, asking questions then, have we got out, blah, blah, blah. But it's a good place, though. Definitely a good place. There's a tunnel there as well. You'd love it, because there's a tunnel and it goes nowhere. It actually ends up overlooking a garden, and outside the end of the tunnel, it's about a 20-foot drop into somebody's garden, which is weird. It's very weird, because at the start of the tunnel, you've got 2 tunnels, and they're both on the same level, and one's a walking tunnel and the other one's a river. It takes the river, and they're both on the same level, and when you look down them, they appear to be same level. But when you get to end up walkway bridge and look out, because it's blocked off, obviously, it's got some mesh on it, and you look down into the garden about 20 foot, and the river is 20 foot down. So that tunnel's gone down 20 foot. The other tunnel, that is. So it's very, very disorientating, and it slightly bends as well. That's engineering. And above, you've got a rail line, an old rail line that goes across them, a totally different trajectory. So it's dead weird, dead weird. But it's a good place to go. You'd enjoy it. You'd have to come up and all in and do some of these locations up here. You'd properly enjoy them. Get away from private investigating.
Oh, yeah,
So,
come up.
everybody in the chat, are you looking forward to Christmas? Have you done all your shopping?
They've all gone. They've fed up for listening to me.
Not at all, Brian, not at all.
I've still got 2 days. I'm all right.
2 days? Are you nuts?
So we don't need long to make a decision. 2 days is plenty of time.
2 days. Everybody will be battering each other.
I'm going to meet mates for Christmas dinner. First
Oh,
time I've
that's
been
nice. Hey, Nicola. It's more of a celebration for us, to be honest. That's it. Without a doubt, William. Without a doubt. But I'm glad that you're going somewhere, Brian. At least you've got company. Yeah,
for first time. It's the last I usually take out with me doing investigations. Well, this year. She's on her own. She's lost her husband early this year, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
Not make good, but it's one of them things, isn't it?
Definitely. Sarah says, not really looking forward to it this year, first since my dad died, and it's the first anniversary of his death on the 2nd of January. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sarah Louise. The thoughts are with you. Obviously, we're doing a show in between, so I'll try and keep your spirits rise, definitely, honey. And you know that my inbox is always open if you need a blether, and that's for everybody as well. You know that during this time, I know it triggers a few people. So without a doubt.
And I'll reiterate that I'm always available. I did it last year and helped a few people out, so I shall be out and knocking about. Just send me a message, PM me, or send me a message on my page, and we'll have a natter. It's not a problem.
Definitely. So, Brian, what have you been back to that place you don't like?
Yeah, I've been back. I've been back a couple of times. I like it even less now, but I'll still keep going back. No.
What is it about that place that scares you, Brian?
It's just got a really heavy negative feeling about the place, and they're not shy in coming forward. A few weeks ago, I played some 1900s music just to see if that'd get a reaction, and it did, and it scared me to death. I got a massive bang from upstairs, and there was only me in the place. Yeah. It was like a big door had slammed shut, and I went up, and there was nothing in the building, and so yeah, and it felt different after that. So I did get a reaction, but I was hoping it was going to be more of a happy, friendly one, and come and have a dance. You know what I mean? And see what audio I could pick up on. But no, he wasn't very happy. No. And I've been Lancaster a few times as well. I've done the corridors there a couple of times, and a few at our dependency wards. So I have been getting out, just not as much because I've had a bad cold, but rest up over Christmas and back out at New Year, and hopefully getting some good valid evidence, just to show that there is life after death, because that's what it's about, isn't it, for us? It's showing that it's not the end. And
validation.
Yeah, and we're not just crazy people that go out in the middle of the night and go to people's houses, and what we do is right. You know what I mean? And we pick up some good evidence. So that's all you can ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will still class us as crazy, though, Brian.
Well, yeah. And that's not a bad thing these days, is it?
Nah.
It's not
Without-
abnormal, is it? Let's face it.
Well, the question we could question is, what is normal? What is classified as normal?
What is normal? Well, these days that's boring.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, how many genders is there? Ooh, I'm opening a
Well,
can
don't
of
go
worms
there,
now.
Brian, for goodness
Oh, please don't.
Can of worms.
William got a very busy year next year, more tarot read. I didn't know you'd done that, William. And a professional herbal course to start, plus further research into alchemic magic. See if you do readings, pop by and see me. I would love to a wee reading off you, William. I can be your guinea pig.
And we'll have him on the next time we do herbs and what have you. Could have done
Aye,
one
definitely.
for the month.
The plans for next year are obviously for Frightners. I was discussing this a wee bit last night when I was doing my show last night, and I was explaining a bit about what's happening next year. For Frightners, this year, as everybody knows, we've had guest after guest after guest after guest. So next year we're looking maybe to space it out one a month sort of thing. So definitely, it's alright, Brian. I'm kidnapping you again some point next year. Poor Brian.
I'm happy
It'll
with
end up
that.
in the basement at this rate.
A spare bed in there, Brian. Don't worry, love. You'll have the best of gear. Don't you worry.
Well, we've got a few. I'm trying to look at guests that that cover all the bases of paranormal, because it's always good to mix it up in it.
Oh God,
I mean, every day at week, but it's not everybody's forte, is it? So there'll be UFO fanatics, there'll be cryptid fanatics, there'll be herbalists, there'll be crystal people that do crystals. I'm looking to get people that's very knowledgeable in things like that for sure. And I've got one that's published. Published, that's the word. I've got one guest that's published. She's been on TV. She's been in quite a few things. So, but her forte is UFOs. But she's well versed in other things as well. So we shall have. I'm not going to mention her name at this point, but she should be good.
Aye.
And she's from across the pond.
But yeah, so there will be a lot of subjects, guys, coming up for Frightners without a doubt. I just need to kind of get my finger out my arse and get sorted. Do you know what?
We don't want to know about your evening activities, girl.
I'm trying to plan ahead, because instead of every Friday saying, or every Wednesday saying to you guys, what are we talking about on Friday? I'm going to make sure I've got my year planned out. So let's stress, just more creative.
What we're doing, you forgot.
Just you leave my out and forgetfulness alone. You sounds good, definitely, Nicola, without a doubt. So what about you, Brian?
Best laid plans, though, ain't you? They always change.
Well, when you've got when you're running two shows in the intercross, it's funny.
When you write a list out, don't lose it.
Yeah.
He's slagging me because I couldn't find my book because I forget where I put things. I like to hide them. Now it says, evening just had a terrifying experience, scared me to death. And Asda with the total. William says, alchemy is a very specialised area which covers a wide spectrum of ancient beliefs dating back to the dawn of time. With respect, it's a little bit deeper and complex than ghosty stuff, I'm afraid. That's absolutely fine, William. It's a really good subject, without a shadow of doubt, to be be looking at.
Yes, I'm into all that. Yeah, I've researched quite a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And my
Yeah.
guide being Fern, that should give you a clue.
That's true. That's true. But definitely. So what equipment are you getting for next year? Are you getting any new equipment, or are you sticking with the apps, Brian?
Probably going to get some new equipment. I've seen them EMF ropes. Have you seen them? Where they're
No,
all
I've
joined
not seen
together. So I want to get a
Yeah.
couple of them. But it's always going to be audio for me. So I've got
Aye.
a new panel box which I've not tested out. So that'll plug into the backwards box, but that'll just be more AM than FM. So it's only going to be good for outside. But I'm planning on going to a few places testing that out. Oh, and
See, I'm not an equipment kind of guy, I'll be honest. So for me to step that up as well, and especially if I'm going to be looking into cryptids, I'm looking at infrared. And that's going back. Nobody seems to use that anymore. I did use a system, and I lost it. I lost it because I left it at a venue. Oh, and I went back. I was gutted, and somebody nicked it. So there you go. And it's like an infrared camera trap works, but it's a laser at one side, across one side of a door hole, and a receptor at other. So that if somebody breaks that beam, it triggers a response. It bleeps or it screeches, whatever. You can have different settings.
I've got that set up.
Yeah, nobody seems to use them anymore. But I'm gonna step that up and see if there's any modern equivalents.
Yeah, we got one as well. You put in the middle of a room, and as soon as it picks anyone up near it, it lights up rather than make a noise. But
yeah,
that's
it's more of a tangible, more of a visible thing though, because rather than being like a motion sensor as such, it's the laser beam that triggers it.
yeah.
So anything breaks that beam, that's when it'll go off, and it'll not go off any other time. You can stand smack it side on it, and it'll not do anything.
Yeah, Alex.
Something's got to break that beam, and I think that's more of a, what's the word? I can't explain it. More of an honest. What's the word?
Hey, Robert.
It's more of an honest response. That's it.
Yeah.
So Eric's saying about EFM tripwire. Alex is saying we used to have one in our office fridge to catch the value.
Yeah.
It's the same as a shadow detector. So yeah, I just laughing at Alex.
Yeah, actually, you just reminded me that you can adapt. You know the motion sensors you stick in corner of a room, right?
PIRs, yeah.
Yeah, you can adapt them to do a similar thing, but they're more wide angled because it's not actually a laser as such, is it? So it's quite widespread. It is more like a motion detector, but I really like the laser job that's literally pointing at a pad. So that anything that breaks that beam, that's the only time it will trigger it.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a confined area detection.
Yeah.
You put it across a doorway, and anything that comes through that door, physical or not, will trigger it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but I've used lasers for a long, long time. And some of the responses you get from a laser, I mean, for example, you shine it down a tunnel or in a cave, and the only thing that will break it is if something crosses across that beam. But if it's physical, it blocks the beam. If it's corporeal,
it bends it.
It doesn't actually stop the beam. It's interrupted, but it carries on. Which is fascinating for me. It's always fascinated me, and I've got a lot of responses in past with it. So I like that idea.
funny
precise.
enough that Alex appears. We have these in the kit, motion activated IR cam. Not a bad
Yeah.
shout. Well, funny enough, when Bry's talking there, Alex, I think when I used to investigate with you, and I think the green laser grid, and we were in where were we? Oh, it might have been Crete. It might have been when we went to Crete at the hotel, and it was the green laser grid, and I was fascinated with it because I've seen the Four Seasons. It was the Four Seasons, and I was fascinated with the laser grid because I think it's really, really good. See, especially when you can see the flicker and the move. It's fascinating. I love that. It's a really good place.
You'd like this one as well, though. A nice little way to do it is if you've got a crystal, on a chain or a string, pendulum, basically a pendulum, and you hang it, and then you point your laser at it, so it's refracting light through it. Oh my God, I've done that in a church before. It's immense. It's visually beautiful. It doesn't really serve the purpose, but it looks good on camera.
Yeah, you just need a laser pointer to do that, and then
Exactly.
Robert,
yeah, looks good.
Robert said, had the daughter and dog down today. Dog was going crazy staring at something. They're good detectors. Alex says that we've been switched on and off in a locked off room.
Yeah.
That was quite crazy. They say dogs see in black and white.
Yeah, well, a lot of security cameras, you pick up more on them because they're in black and white.
But
I don't know about dogs. I'll be honest. I don't know whether they're colourblind or not. I know. Bulls are, cows are. So that's why they say, shake a red rag to a bull. It actually looks grey, so there's not a lot of truth in that.
Yeah, so don't wear grey either.
Eric says, done that too, Brian, and I have a high-powered laser. Have you ever used lasers, Brian?
No. I like to work in dark, mate, so no, I don't have any laser grids or anything like that. I like a night vision, so you can't really see what's going on.
Do you know some of the lights that you use, I think, are really, really cool, Brian, because I've watched some of your videos and I've seen one of your pictures, and it was when we were doing the 5 days posting paranormal pictures. There's one in particular picture that catches my eye every time, and I see it sometimes on my timeline, is the purple one that you took. I'll need to find the picture and actually show you the one I'm talking about. But it's a really cracking picture, and it's every time I see it, I like that one. I'll try and source a link for you. Definitely, if you could, Alex, that would be brilliant. I think it's red. They can't see, but other than that, they can see in colour. Yeah, definitely.
I always like to go to these places, and so I take all my camera gear and my lighting. So it's only filters, but on investigations, it's mainly I like full night vision. So it's just a case of look where you are, and then try not to walk around so much because you can't see what you're doing. But it's comfortable for me, and I think it's more comfortable for them as well. Just to be in total darkness.
Maybe you benefit from night vision goggles.
Yeah, I've got a flare which I always have in front of me. So that's a thermal imaging camera.
Yeah,
that
tell
one,
you
yeah.
That's my favourite picture.
What else is good to use is blacklight.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant, me. That does show some proper shadows sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm good, Kelly. Hope you're well. Hope you have a good Christmas. Oh, happy birthday, happy 40th. Robert says, what colours do dogs see? Because dogs' eyes only have 2 types of cones. Just 20% of the cones in the human eye. Their colour spectrum is limited to shades of grey, brown, yellow, blue. This is called dichromatic vision, which is similar to humans who experience red-green colour blindness. And Alex's answer.
Yeah, I think that's true with most predators, and that's to be able to discern, counteract camouflage from the prey animals.
Mm-hmm. Talking about animals, Brian, how is that dog of yours? Absolutely. See, when I see pictures of your dog getting posted, I'm just like, oh.
No, he's all right. He's just heard Asda man pull up, so he's excited now. He's up at top window barking. Oh yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. No.
I absolutely love, and do you know what? I love German Shepherds, and when I see you and your dog out, I feel such a joy because I'm like, I can imagine how protective he is.
Well, if I can get him in locations that I investigate, I'll always take him with me because it's a bit of companionship, and I'm not on my own. So, but he doesn't like it. I will say he's very. He likes being with me, but he doesn't like the investigations. So he's very on edge all the way through it.
He's probably thinking, "You're not seeing that."
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he does. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, he's very good. Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, for everybody that doesn't know, Brian has a German Shepherd, and when I think of Brian's dog, it takes me back to when I was my childhood, and my mum had 3 German Shepherds, and I just loved them. Zara, Zoe, and Zena.
Yeah, they get the great dogs. He looks after me well, so yeah.
Oh, you can hear him in the background.
Oh yeah, you will do. You will do. Oh. Don't need alarm in my house. I've got Rocky.
Yeah, Alex says, yikes, the lots of walks.
Yeah. I mean, I do take him exploring with me and stuff, so it's it comes as much as I can get him with me.
At least you've got a companion.
Yeah, just get him a team hoodie and he'll feel all right then.
But yeah, I've had some good stuff as well where I've actually picked up where it said brush your dog and stuff on investigations, and last time you see me and they said dog, so they can see dog, you know. So yeah, it's good. It's good to take him. It makes me feel safer as well. Gives me a bit more courage when I'm not on my own. No.
Can't choose me to nip off. Bye, Alex. Thanks for popping in, love. Eric says that reminds me I should have made a skull to skull laser tripwire. That'd be a good shout. Because what I was saying, Eric,
the eyes. There you go.
Yeah. Make it a packet.
Hey, I didn't see.
One a transmitter and one a receiver, Eric. That'd be cock on. That would.
Well,
so you can
funny enough, Funny enough, me and Eric were actually talking the other night, and I can't remember if I said it on the show or if I said it off the show. But what I said to Eric was he should look at different things that he could try with building. I said it could be like Tim Allen out of Home Improvement.
I don't think there's any equipment out there, to be honest, that's specific for paranormal investigating. I think it's all adapted from, army stuff and whatever like your night vision goggles. So there you go, Eric. If you've got a couple of skulls that you place, one either side of a door hole, and one's your laser and one's your receiver, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you can even have a skull with a laser grid coming out of it.
Yeah.
That would be. See if you do it with purple lights, I will be your first customer. And to do with purple, I'm your lady.
Yeah, I guess you like Mace Windu in Star Wars then, because he had a purple lightsaber.
Yeah.
In purple, the purple dark. I can do both of those. Smashing. Can't wait to see. But yeah, so really, it would be good to see different things come through, like equipment wise. As I said, I'm not really an equipment fan. Even though I've got like a K2 meter and EVP and like an M pod and everything there, I'm not really. I'm sort of pulling away from equipment, and I don't know why. I don't know. I've just been doing the old route. My senses. Let me see what I can say.
We've got equipment that keeps getting upgraded from what we've already got. What we need is some new stuff.
Yeah.
Like what me and Brian have said in the past. Something that you can take in a room and it is picking up the frequency of which they're speaking on, so we can then tune into that frequency. That way, it's like having a telephone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, definitely. And that's what it is. It's all down to frequencies. If we can find that frequency, and I do believe that it varies, and it varies.
Yeah, definitely.
It varies because of, in spirit anyway, emotion.
Yeah.
If you've got a very friendly, very calm, amenable spirit, it's going to be a very, very low frequency. If it's excitable, nasty, poltergeisty, it's going to be an higher frequency, and it's tuning into them. So, but we haven't discovered what they are.
Nah.
It's Robert's asking. It's Lionel Richie. Hello, is it me you're looking?
Don't set me off singing. Hello.
There you've started, Brian. Robert.
As long as it don't set you off singing, Lois, we're all right.
Screw you, bitch. Let me tell you something. I'm a good singer.
Who told you that? A deaf person?
Let me tell you, I can sing like Aretha Franklin. No, I can't really. Who the fuck am I kidding?
I was going to finish off tonight by singing a Christmas song, but I changed my mind.
No. I can't believe really how quick this year's went on. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
We're only over a week till 2024. I mean, what things are you... Here's a question for you, right? And for everybody in the chat. It's coming now into 2024. What's everybody expecting from the paranormal?
More ghosts.
Can we describe?
I knew you were going to say that, Dick.
Is a twist. Can we explain it in a film? I would say that something's going to come along, like we've been talking, me and Ian, on the lines of that Contact, Jodie Foster.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be sent blueprints for a machine that'll we can put together, and it'll make contact. What do they call that film? Is it Contact?
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
That's my film, Contact, Jodie Foster. Something similar to that. We'll be sent plans.
Oh, thank you, Robert. You sweet talker. If I had to describe...
me.
Oh, right, you looking sexy in the glasses, Brian.
Do we take it that Robert's taking his off?
Oh! You're just jealous because you're not as good looking as me, and that's what it is.
Oh.
But if I had to describe, I would kind of love to see Gone in 60 Seconds.
Right.
Wee bit of action. Wee bit of action in the paranormal. But no, I would hope that by next year, which is, I don't think it'll ever happen, but at least if there would be like some sort of peace in the paranormal.
Well, it's not going to happen unless the ego chasers decide to stop chasing egos, isn't it? So,
Well, that's not going to happen. I was blind to start right, so fuzzy. Right, you, that's plenty.
I think that, like I've always said, I think there's a big difference. The problem is there is two distinct bands. There's the limelight chasers, which is entertainment.
Yeah.
And there's the true investigators, such as us.
Yeah.
And he's a worldwide different. It's totally different in America because everything is based on making a buck. You have to make a buck. So you've got to go into the entertainment side, which is a shame. It really is. So that's why it's geared up, in my opinion, anyway. That's why it's geared up the way it is.
Yeah, I think more in America, investigators over there, that's their full-time job. Whereas here, exactly. That's not the case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a hobby. So we can afford to dispense with that limelight side of it. We could keep private if we wanted to. Mm-hmm. We've been drawn into it through America, through the people that are in entertainment. I mean, the very reason the existence of blogs like we're doing is that side of it. For me, it's the entertainment side of it.
I mean, you are seeing, and this is what I'm noticing more and more nowadays, is that there's less investigation and more podcasts coming out the woodwork. You know, every other time I'm seeing right now is people advertising, I'm starting a podcast, and you are seeing more and more people put away for the paranormal. And it's dead weird because podcasts, I'm not saying that they weren't popular, but I would say that I've seen maybe a growth now where people are starting their own podcasts.
Yeah.
And not even in paranormal. It's what's the format? I don't use it myself. I've got it, but I don't use it. I'm forever seeing people. I've got about 20 followers, and I've never ever used it. How's that work? TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok. Do you know?
Geared at forums like this, isn't it? It's geared at entertainment, basically. Everybody being a star. Everybody having the 3 minutes of fame, whatever.
Do you know what? I have TikTok personally, but I can't work it worth a shit. Like, I can't do their videos and all this, right? But I like watching TikTok. And me and Wayne and Eric were talking about this last night. How spooky it is when, like, for example, when we did the special for Titanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hadn't looked that up in TikTok. Every second video in TikTok was the Titanic. I shit you not. And I'm like, that's weird because I ain't typed the Titanic in here. And it was bringing up the Titanic. And that's what Wayne was saying last night. Yeah. He was the same with Tesla. And the next thing you know, he's got a shitload of Tesla.
Yeah, your phone listens to you. Your smart TV listens to you.
It does.
You know, if you want to check whether you're being listened to on your smart TV, right, have it turned off. And if a screen goes blue, they're listening. They're using your mics to listen.
Well, in that case, then I would have 100 pictures with what I sent you about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, certain things. My phone.
You've probably got 100 of the items, Lois.
Yeah.
No, that's just on my drawer.
Right in the very top where it says 4G and all that, there's a little teardrop pops up, and that's when I know that they're listening and watching me as well.
Robert says, look at the old Wild West bodies just got buried where they fell, no grave or anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. So guys, obviously I'll let Brian tell everybody where they'll find you.
You can find me on TikTok, Haunted Homes Paranormal Investigations UK, Haunted Homes UK on Facebook, same on Instagram. I don't do live investigations. I just record what I do, and I put me clips up of what I deem as good, valid responses, or in activity.
And I highly recommend them, guys. Because I have watched your stuff, Brian, and I have been memorised with some of the things that the responses, and actually how clear is a bell. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the responses can be, I mean, I've worked a lot with spirit boxes, and sometimes the responses is not quite that clear, but the responses that you get from what you use is as clear as a bell.
Yeah, well, that's why he was telling me off last week, the guy who made it, because he said you're putting too much white noise in. You need to be adjusting a few more, tweaking a few more of these buttons. And he just said, you're letting me down, you know what I mean? It's a good bit of gear and you're not using it correctly anymore. So pull your head out to your backside and start using the gear. Otherwise, I won't make you anymore.
Oh, that's you told. Yeah. And then it says, I hope not, as they'll hear his language from the A to the Z. I'm the same. And but I just found it dead weird. Like, obviously, there's a lot that has came up recently, subjects that I'm like, I haven't looked that up. But that's just the joys. That is just the joys. No, any dodgy subjects, Mr. Varro.
I'm not talking about dodgy subjects. I'm just sat laughing about you researching stuff.
My volume's gone.
Oh, I'm going to kick your ass.
You can try, my dear. You can try.
Well, I want to thank Brian for coming back tonight and putting up with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. If I've been a bit quiet, I've been really under the weather for the last few weeks, so it's not good getting old, is it?
You've been a soldier, an absolute soldier. Next week, guys, Thursday I'll be on doing the 2004 tsunami. On Friday, next Friday, you'll have me and Bri. We're going to do a wee, and it was actually a really good suggestion for Bri, and it was the recap of 2023. We're going to be looking at the highs, the lows, and the middles. So it will be a really good way to bring in the new year. And then you'll see Ian back on the 5th. The 5th. When did I tell you to come back? I forgot.
Oh, I have no idea. When did you tell me to come back?
Oh, as the 5th of December, the Friday. So definitely, guys. But on behalf of myself and the show hosts, have a very good Christmas. And I hope you all have a good time. Remember, if at this time of year, and I do recognise that obviously this is a hard time for people, so please reach out, definitely, and don't be alone, definitely. And Brian, from my house to yours, have a good Christmas, your missus and the girl and your boy. I hope you all have a good Christmas, definitely.
Oh, thank you. Same to you all. Thank you. Looking forward to some time off work, more than hotels, but yeah, thanks very much.
Don't forget to come on and get past with Nettie on the 23rd. There's Nettie doing a show on the 23rd at 9:30. She'll be fucking legless. And for you two guys as well, have a very good Christmas, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I will do.
Definitely. Right, guys, you take care and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone. Have a good Christmas.